I think it's recording.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. The screen's black. There we go.
Oh, you broke it.
I didn't break shit.
Yeah.
Are you looking at grilled cheese?
Yeah. I'm looking how to make it in the oven. Because I can't make it in the toaster. Or the stove.
I don't know if you can make it in the oven either.
Well, I mean, it only needs to get a certain hot, like just to melt it. Because, well,
Scarlett is freaking out over grilled
I'm
cheese.
not freaking out. I'm trying
They
to
had a
figure this
thought
out.
and they were like, "Oh my god, I need grilled cheese. Oh, please God, give me grilled cheese."
Yeah. Basically, that's what my prayer every night sounds like.
My tongue is swollen.
Ew.
I don't know if I bit it or what.
Ew.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're having weird health problems.
Yeah, I'm dying. So that's
Me too,
that's
apparently.
fun. I've had to call into work. I missed a Christmas. It's not fun. I feel okay right now, but
It's kind of freaking me out earlier because you were like, you missed the past couple of days of work. And I'm
I
like,
probably have cancer. Who cares?
Me too. I probably have, what is it called? Elders Down syndrome or whatever. It's like where you, like, your bones and your muscles are all fucked up. And you can get it from, like, stress or abuse or whatever. And
your
like,
neck is all stretchy. I know that.
yeah, because
Most people's necks are not stretchy like
like
that.
playing with my skin and stuff for whatever reason. And
you might want to explain what that was, because if you just say, "Yeah, you're playing with my skin," just leave it at that. People are gonna get some weird ideas.
No, not like that. No. And you were like...
Just playing with skin.
I just spit everywhere, I'm sorry. Anyways, no, you were like, your skin is stretchy and stuff, and I'm like, stop dying. I'm trying to talk. But, no, I literally, like, it's like your skin is so stretchy, and I was like, I noticed that too lately. Like, the past couple of days, my skin has been bruising really easily. I haven't been feeling all that great. It's hard to describe. It's like I feel very weird internally. Like, I just feel like something's wrong and I don't know what it is. I could be psyching myself out. I don't know. But, also, like, I've been having this really bad pain in my side. Like, I've been having pain in my side for a really long time. Like, really long time. Like, years, ever since I was, like, 13. I think it's a stress thing. But recently, it's been, like, weird. Like, the pain is, like, spreading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a bigger spot. And then it's, like, for some reason, I get, like, a lot of anxiety about it. I'm like, what? I don't know.
Damn you, healthcare system.
Yeah.
I would love to get the cancer screening.
Yeesh.
That would be great if they were just free.
Yeah. No, I'm worried, though. I'm like...
Well, I know I've been fucked up for a few years now. I mean, I've always been chronically ill, but when so over the course, it was like a year or two ago, so I was still working at the lumberyard. I was weighing about like 225, 230. Despite working every day and doing all that, I couldn't lose any weight, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I lost 40 pounds in like 2 months.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Unhealthy.
Like, I got so skinny, my pants, I had to cut holes in my belt, everything. My shoes were I lost so much weight, I was losing weight in my fucking feet. My boots were loose, my shoes were loose, my rings falling off my bracelet. And then I was like, I didn't change anything I was eating. I just lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, sometimes.
And everybody was like looking at me like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm eating the same shit every day. I don't change what I eat very often. And then I kind of leveled out. And then when I lost the job at Woodson's and then got this job at with Max, then I gained a little bit more weight back. And then now I've just, even though I'm not really changing what I'm eating, I'm up to like 250 something, or at some point I was at 260, almost 260, like 259. I got real heavy, and it's like I'm not doing anything different, so I don't know what it is. And apparently, extreme weight loss and weight gain, like rapid weight loss and weight gain, real close to each other with no real change in diet, means something's wrong.
Yeah,
That's
well,
not supposed
I'd
to happen.
imagine so. Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were in Austin and we were eating the same thing every day, which was not much, I didn't lose any weight.
Oh yeah.
Remember when we were eating instant mashed potatoes and hamburger meat
Yeah, that was
or
actually really
hamburgers.
good though.
Well, that was good, but it was also really cheap, and that's all we would
It's
have.
a struggle meal, but it's so
That's
good.
all we had.
I was like, damn, okay, this is good.
That's all we had, and I didn't lose any weight during that. You were still losing weight because you were so skinny. Now that we've gotten more stable,
Yeah.
well, after being evicted, and my mom and Ron being so great and letting us stay in this camper, more stable, you're starting to put weight on, which you needed because you're so skinny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gee, thanks. No, I mean, yeah.
But I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if it's thyroid. I don't know what it. But I know, like, I know in terms of how I feel, it's kind of hour by hour. Like, we just watched a movie and I felt really good, but I also slept like 15 hours today.
Yeah, and you did that yesterday
and was
too.
tired. I'm so exhausted. And then would wake up sweating, and then would also wake up really, really cold. And then wake up. I'm wearing 2 sets of pants right now, by the way. I'm wearing my sweats underneath these. And I'd either wake up hot or I'd wake up sweating and then cold, like shivering. I'd wake up shivering. Or I'd wake up. What was it? I'd wake up hot, but my body was shivering. And I wake up just long enough to get something to drink and then go back to bed. Like, that's not normal. That's not... Something's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just burnout or what.
Yeah.
My tongue is swollen. That's fun, but that could be because of that storm that blew in.
I have the opposite problem with the whole sleep thing. Like, if I sleep for too long, I have, like, nightmares. I can't sleep. Like, I physically cannot sleep. Like, if I close my eyes hurt. And then, like, I feel like something is going to get me. But I think that's, like, a PTSD thing. Like...
I definitely have time blindness. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you know, it's so weird to talk about something like time blindness because people think... Either people don't give a shit and don't care, which, whatever, you have no empathy. There's nothing that's going to change that. You're just an evil person. God have mercy on your soul. That's about all I can say. You don't care about people, so there's nothing that'll change that.
There's ways to get around time blindness, I feel like, sometimes.
But it's so weird because people, if you do think about it, people think it's one way. Like, you just always have it. But it's not necessarily true. Sometimes you'll have it where a minute will feel like an hour. And then you'll have it to where hours go by like that. And you'll have, like, it's so weird. And it isn't exactly correlated with what you're doing. People say that time flies when you're having fun. But it's not always correlated with that. Sometimes things just go by. And even bless you, even with the speed of things, and it's so weird. And I experienced that with sleep too. Where it doesn't feel like I've been asleep that long. I remember when I got real bad sick and took like 2 weeks off of work. I thought it'd only been a few days.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made me apply for leave, and I thought I'd only been gone a few days, and it's like, no, you've been gone like 2 weeks. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, we were thinking you were dead. And I was like, oh my god. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it's because I was asleep the whole time. I slept for like 2 weeks straight.
I think I have the time blindness thing a little bit, but whenever I have it, it's usually like I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling good up there in my brain, and I know it when it starts to happen. It's like a psychosis thing. Like, I could feel an episode coming on, so I'm like, I gotta ground myself real quick, or I'm gonna start to spiral really bad, and it'll be like crazy fucking stuff. Like, when I talk about it like out loud and people like react to it, I'm like, oh, that's not normal. Because I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, when you feel like you know, there's things like surrounding your bedroom and all this other stuff and like all this other crazy stuff, and it sounds crazy out loud, but it makes sense to me in my head because I've always had that type of problems. you know.
That could be. I wonder if my thing has to do with masking, since I'm just not able to do it as well anymore, and I have to do that at work.
Oh.
And then I've had to do it with anything dealing with Mama Ron, or we just had Christmas and all of that.
Yeah.
And the masks go up, and it's so mentally exhausting, and I just can't do it anymore. But that can't be all it is. It's probably no tumor. Who knows? And
Okay.
I should just rack up a bunch more medical debt. And what are they gonna do? What are they gonna? I think I just missed a court date. Oh shit! I did. Whoops. Well, whatever. They were just gonna be like, that doesn't matter. I just remembered that. That's not good. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, it was about the eviction thing.
Yeah.
But like, oh fuck. I don't know. All I know is I'm in pain every day. I'm kind of tired of it. It's a fun conversation. Start this off. It sounded like we've been settled today. Now we just watched a kick-ass movie because we're doing something. I don't know. I decided. I don't know where I saw this. I saw somewhere. Someone was like, "I watched 94 movies this year. I want to see if I can like double that." And I was like, "Fuck! There's so many movies out there.
Yeah.
I could easily watch one movie a day." And then Scarlett hasn't seen anything.
Yeah.
Because of your troubled upbringing.
Well, not just that, but like, I just don't really pay attention when I was younger, like to movies and like I would watch certain things and whatnot. I just never really watched like movies.
So there's a lot I have to catch up on.
I mean, I do like certain movies and shows now. Like, as I was a teenager and stuff, and now I'm just like, I like certain movies, I like certain shows and stuff. And, like, I have the thing where I'll rewatch it so many times, just because it's comforting.
I was wondering if we could make another show out of it, because I know we've been watching The True Detective and stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like,
I
think I would create a whole nother podcast for it. I'd have to figure that out. But, like, we're already a few days into the year, so the idea was just to watch one movie a day, and so far we have. We had to double up, because we started after the first.
Yeah.
And so far, was it the 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the 4th now? If it's like, whatever a.m.?
Yeah, okay, so, let me just say this real quick. I love True Blood, or not True Blood. I mean, I love True Blood, but I love True Detective because it's like...
It's a good show.
It's in Louisiana, and it's like very... I wouldn't say realistic, but, you know, because the whole ritualistic murder or whatever. I mean, that can happen. But, I mean, like, the way, like, I don't know why. I just love it so much. It's because it's a good show. It's a really good show. I think I like...
Season 2 is weird.
I think I like shows that take place in, like, Louisiana. Because, like, True Blood doesn't take place there, but it takes place near there, like, a little bit
It's in Louisiana.
north. What?
It's in Louisiana?
Is it?
Yes!
I thought it was in...
They're in Louisiana.
I thought it was in Mississippi.
They're in Louisiana, Scarlett.
I don't know.
So I have to rewatch True Blood now, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
All them naked women's.
Yeah. My favorite character is Steve Newland in that one.
But like, so we've watched one movie a day. We watched Upgrade, which is a movie I've been meaning to watch for a while.
Yeah.
Imagine Venom, but good.
Oh no, not good.
It's a good movie. No, stop it.
No,
Stop.
Venom. No, like the character is not good. I don't understand that. He's not good.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
Imagine the movie Venom, but good.
Oh.
Venom's a terrible fucking piece of shit movie. Upgrade's not. But Upgrade's a movie I've been meaning to watch for a while. I just hadn't gotten around to it, and I saw it was available. I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, it's on Max. I'll watch that.
The twist ending is good.
Holy
I liked
shit.
that.
I didn't... So the trailers and everything show it being a lot more fun of a movie. And it is fun, and then it gets dark and becomes a horror movie. I was not expecting it to become a horror movie and that shit to start happening. But I liked it. I was not what I thought it was going to be. I got what I wanted out of it, but man, I was hoping it would have been a bit more fun, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Then we watched the 1984 version of Dune.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was weird.
That's a weird movie.
I like his mom, like her look in that movie, like
It's a weird ass movie.
her hair and her dress and everything. I like that. I like
that movie has so I'm
like
currently
her space aesthetic.
I'm currently reading the book, and if you watch that 1984 movie, you're probably thinking that book's crazy, and then you hear people say, "Oh, the book is," people say the series is impossible to read or something like that. Let me explain to you why the book is hard to read, or for some people to read. The book is very straightforward, and the chapters are short. It's really easy to read.
Yeah.
If you don't want anything explained. Because the book, it tells a story. The reason it's hard to read is because you don't know what the fuck it's talking about.
Mm.
It's also 900 pages long. But I've almost 200 pages into the damn thing, and I'm reading it pretty fast. It's a really good story. It's just like, it's talking about things as if you should already know them. That's why it's hard. It doesn't explain what this craziness, all this bullshit is. It's just like, yeah, we're in like the year 10,000. We're doing all this space shit. There's all these houses. It doesn't explain how these houses got into power. You don't know who these people are. All you know is it's like Game of Thrones, but no
Space
exposition.
Democracy.
No, not democracy. They're under an emperor.
Oh, space monarchy.
And it's
Wait, no.
all the explanation comes as you're reading it. So you're going to learn about what this shit is by actually experiencing it.
Oh.
Now, you watch the movie, the 1984 movie, and there's
It's
all this
different.
crazy weird shit, and you're thinking, man, the book must be nuts, because movies usually leave out a bunch of stuff, and they do. Let me tell you what the book doesn't do, and that is tell these people how to dress, and all these weird set designs and shit. That's not in the book. At least not in the 200 pages that I've read. David Lynch goes crazy in that movie, because they are wearing some weird get-ups from time to time, and the set design is crazy and everything. The Mentats have the biggest eyebrows you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
And in the book it says that their lips are stained. Or there's like a marking on their lip, and that's how you tell they're a Mentat. Well, in the 84 movie, it's like, it looks like they have a rash around their lips. Because Mentats are supposed to be like super intelligent guys.
I saw that.
You thought he just had herpes, right? Because that's
no,
what it looks
I thought
like.
they just had really chapped lips. I'm sorry, I just spit it all over you. But no, I thought they just had really chapped lips, and I thought that was just the actor. And I was like,
But
okay.
but in the new movie, because I've seen the new one,
Mm-hmm.
which by the way, the new one, like an hour into the Dune, so the new one is basically the first hour of Dune 84, except it's they're a little bit closer to the book, and it explains everything a lot more.
Yeah.
And then now we have Dune Part 2, because it's a very big book, but the Dune 84 doesn't do that. It's just like, for whatever reason, it's very, very slow in that first hour, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna speed run through 600 pages worth of shit.
Yeah.
Because so much shit happens, and they explain none of it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of running in the desert and sandworms and everything. And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I don't know if that's a good movie. It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
And the acting is very strange. It's very stagey. But the reason if you're on stage, it's different now, but the reason you have to be a little over dramatic or very dramatic on a stage is the same reason that the makeup has to be different. Stage makeup's different than movie makeup.
Yeah.
Stage makeup, if you look up to a person up close in stage makeup, sometimes depending on what the makeup is, they can look like a drag queen.
Oh,
The
yeah.
reason is because when you're on stage and those lights hit you, it washes everything out. So if you're someone that has wrinkles, you have to make those wrinkles dark as fuck, and you look like a Dr. Seuss character. But when you're on stage, the lights wash it out, and they just look like regular wrinkles. You also have some people that are close to the stage, some people that are very far away from the stage.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for your reactions. You can't be too subtle on stage, otherwise people will think that you're just not acting.
Yeah.
So you have to make gestures big so everybody can see it. They're acting like that in this movie, but every shot's really up close. It's really weird. God, the design of the characters is what gets me. And then how they've missed some design. There's some weird shit in that movie. Very campy, very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Sting's in it for some reason. Paul's supposed to be like 15, but is played by a 30-year-old man. I always loved that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the first time I've actually seen it all the way through. I don't know if that's a good movie. It's a very strange, very artistic in a lot of ways. I liked that they were trying to do something. A lot of cool shots. Very pretty. Are you still looking at your grilled cheese?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I have to look. I have to know. Okay.
And then we just got finished watching one of the most stylish movies ever made. The most 90s movie ever made, at least. I'm trying to think of a movie that's more 90s, that encapsulates the heights of the 90s more than this. And it's hard for me to put a finger on one. But Hackers is such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good movie. How did you like Hackers?
I liked it. I thought it was
Very, very
good.
gay.
Oh, yeah.
Very gay.
Majorly. If not, like, queer-coded.
I want that cheetah suit that dude was wearing.
Yeah, it's very gay,
So
very
weird.
queer-coded, very campy.
Very crazy, very weird.
Yeah.
Remember that a dude was he like had a limo just so he could hang on to it for his skateboard?
That was campy. Yeah, that was weird.
Oh God.
The only thing he was missing was cowboy boots.
I think he was wearing cowboy boots. I think he was wearing boots.
But him and then
Everybody rollerblading everywhere.
yeah, the full
Place
time,
makes New York look so cool.
the hideout thing that they were in.
That's just a club apparently that they go to. It's supposed to be like a regular place because it's a
Yeah.
restaurant too.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's tables they were sitting at and they were eating fries and shit and they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
But I love that there's like this skate park in the middle of it that goes through the entire thing. So there's
Yeah.
people walking around and there's like people doing tricks on shit. You ever seen the original Ninja Turtles movie?
No.
Okay, well, we have to change that because that movie's great. But for anyone that's seen that, the Foot's hideout, which is the ninja clan in the movie, the evil ninja clan, they brainwash a bunch of teenagers to be their ninjas. Their hideout is very similar to this, except this version's less seedy. It's very colorful and fun. Looks like a really, really fun place to go and hang out.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to go there.
I would too, but I would get so overstimulated
Oh,
so
yeah.
quickly.
Oh, yeah. But I would love to be there.
Yeah.
I love their stupid game setup they had. They're playing a real game. Well, they're playing a real game, but not in a real way. So they're playing this PlayStation game on this giant screen. He's like beating her high score, the main character. But they're playing it. So part of the game is real and part of the game isn't. So it's like this racing game, except it's not a racing game. It's very, very hard to understand what you're watching. But part of it is a real game because you see these ships that they're next to.
Yeah.
And it's like this really futuristic bullshit that they're playing. It's a real PlayStation game. Not Wipeout. It's something else. What is the game they're playing in Hackers? Yes. Oh, it is Wipeout! It was an early version of Wipeout, which released later that year in September of 95. I knew it was... Okay. So it is Wipeout. Wipeout's a really, really, really fun racing game on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they're playing that. Man, it was a really early version. Holy shit, Wipeout looks nothing like that. Well, the playing it looks nothing like that. God, I want to play Wipeout now. Wipeout's so good. But yeah, I love the style, I love the colors. It's so 90s, and stupid. The music's great. Don't you love the music?
Yeah, I actually really like the music.
That's what's fun. Is
I
the
like the
music never
soundtrack.
stops. It makes it feel fun the entire movie. Of course, you got a really young Angelina Jolie in there,
Yeah.
being very hot.
Yeah, she had like a pixie cut in that one. She
And
had
then
red
Matthew
hair.
Lillard, who was
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another movie he's in that might be more 90s. It's a punk movie.
Yeah, doesn't he have like the lip rings and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
He's like a
yeah.
punk kid,
What
a
is it?
punk guy.
Something LC Punk. Is it not DLC? Is it TLC?
Something like that. Where he's like a punk or whatever.
Yeah, we gotta watch that movie.
Yeah.
That movie's great. Have you ever seen Scream?
Scream?
The original.
Like, the original? I think I've seen part of it.
Okay, we're gonna watch Scream.
I've seen all the scary movies.
Okay, well you need to watch Scream. Scream is really, really good.
Yeah.
Scream is a series that's like great, good, bad, pretty good. Like they have one terrible fucking movie in the middle of that series, and that's Scream 3. Scream 3 is awful, but it starts off really great. But some people like to call that movie a horror comedy, or say it has comedy elements. I watched that movie just a few years ago. I watched it with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And she hadn't seen it before either. Or at least hadn't really seen it. But she remembered it being, like, funny. And we watched it again, and, like, this movie is terrifying. This movie is not funny. It's about a killer who's killing high school kids.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
But that's
And they suspect that it's one of the high schoolers doing it. And it's like, this movie's not funny. And, I mean, there's jokes in it, but it's like, that's real life. People make morbid jokes and say shit like that. It's not like there's one stupid, campy bullshit moment in it. And you'll see it when it happens. But other than that, it's like, this movie's not really that funny. This movie's kind of terrifying because instead of it being a shooter, it's a dude that's going and just murdering people.
I mean, that's
He's just doing it the slow way. And it's happening in a high school and everybody's on edge and tense. And it's like, like, our friend just got murdered, like, last night, what are we gonna do? And then someone gets murdered in the school, and it's like, oh my god, and they're dealing with this, like, what the fuck are we, like, that is, as someone who grew up in the age of the school shootings, and having to deal with all that shit, kind of in both the proto age, too, I went through all, like, the test beds of it.
Yeah.
I'm 7 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's not funny. The second one's a little bit different. But, like, that movie's like, first one's like, that'd be fucking terrifying.
I mean, that's just what slasher movies are, though. Also, I feel like that is, like...
Well, that one's a little bit more personal.
More, like,
than
than
other slashers.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That one, like, Halloween's high school kids, but we're never really at the school. This one's, like, shit's happening at the school. Like,
There's no safe place.
Like, if that movie hadn't released the time that it did, and it waited 5 years, I think it'd be a lot more controversial.
Yeah.
Because it's not teenagers, quote teenagers, whatever, in a school. It's like they're going to class, and then they find out that one of their friends was murdered, and not just murdered, brutally murdered. Her and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, I always forget how graphic that first murder is, or when they find the murder scene. Like, he hangs her up by her intestines. It's like, it's not like she was just stabbed to death. It's like her parents find her in the worst way possible. Mm. And it's like, this movie is terrifying.
Okay, so I lied earlier. I haven't watched the Scream movie. I watched clips of it, but I have watched Scream the TV show. I watched part of it.
Okay.
I kind of stopped watching it after a while just because I got bored. But
okay. So that's another thing, because we got on a Scream. Me and my ex-wife, we got on a whole Scream. We saw the first movie and we're like, fuck. We kind of want more Scream, so we got on like a Scream rush. Mm-hmm. So we were like, well, there was a TV show. Mm-hmm. So we're like, let's watch the TV show. And
it's about, like, teenagers.
And we're watching the show. And this is the worst fucking piece of shit show. It's so bad, and we couldn't stop watching it. We couldn't stop watching it because the cast was really good. Kind of.
It's like Riverdale.
Like No, Riverdale's Oscar level compared to this. This show is bad, but we really like the cast, and we're like, well, we kind of want to see how they deal with this, and they deal with it in the worst ways possible. It's awful. There is a really cool, very graphic kill in the middle of the season. That would not happen that way. They take a ditch witch and they drop it on this guy, and it cuts him in half from head to splits him down the middle. And I'm like, it wouldn't be that way. It actually would be much worse than the way that they portray it in the show. But it's like, it's so bad. The show is so awful. But apparently season 2 got really good ratings, and we never watched season 2 because we found out, because I was looking it up, we found out that season 2 ends on a cliffhanger and it never gets resolved because season 3 takes place in a completely different school and is also a really, really bad. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because apparently there's a third ghost killer. Which is weird. Man, that Scream TV show is so bad. It's so bad.
I liked it. I just got bored of it halfway through. And I can't watch it anymore because, like, I tried watching it again. And I'm like, for some reason, the lesbian, like, side story gets me. It's not because they're lesbians or anything.
I hated that.
It's useless, like, drama that just doesn't have any point to the story.
Well,
other than the fact that
could be,
like...
That could be done well because, remember, they're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And they're picking on her for being bi. And then that one girl... And that could work. That could actually work and have really good drama. The reason it doesn't work... Also, Bella Thorne is in that movie, or in that show for a little bit and gets murdered.
She dies in the first episode.
And nobody cares.
No.
Everybody hates her.
Sorry, the spoilers.
Everybody hates her. And here's what's so good
she's like this rich bitch.
Here's the reason that lesbian story doesn't work at all. Is because then it's like the killer gets her and kills her and then makes it look like a suicide. Because they find her hanging from her ceiling fan. Here's the problem.
I don't remember that part, but
here's the problem with it. And
I
it's supposed
probably
to be,
didn't see it.
and it's probably really sad and everything. But here's the problem with it is like they're like, yeah, she hanged herself, you know, broke her neck and died. But she's hanging from a ceiling fan and her feet are barely off her bed. And I'm like, how'd she break her neck? Well, we know how she broke her neck because we see how she gets killed. But then the killer stages it. He throws her off a balcony with a rope attached to her neck, and she falls like 20 feet and almost snaps her head off. But then he stages it like she killed herself, not from that balcony, but from her room, and ties it to her ceiling fan where she just chokes to death. But everybody's like, yeah, it's suicide. She was just ashamed to be engaged, ashamed to be gay. And I'm like, you cannot break your neck from being less than a foot off the ground. That's not how that works. There has to be enough speed. It's so where, like, her head almost gets pulled off the speed that she hits. And the medical examiner never once goes, who is a character in the show? Never once go, that's impossible. She's like, yeah, it's weird and crazy.
Yeah.
just a teen killed herself.
Well, I think the drama, like, for me, it was just, like, painstakingly boring. And, like, the kid, the photographer...
None of it made sense. It was all awful.
Well, the photographer kid, he's like this awkward geek stereotype or whatever.
He works at a comic book shop at one point in time.
Well, I don't know that. But, like,
and gets a girlfriend who immediately gets murdered.
He's the friend with the lesbian who, like, these are the
She's not a lesbian.
Characters.
Calls her bi-curious. That's her nickname.
Okay. Well, I don't remember all the show. But I remember that, and then I remember, like, at this point, like, the side stories, the romantic side stories, like, the girl with the teacher, like, I was annoyed by that, like, because there's one girl, she's, like, with a teacher, and, like, it's a whole relationship thing, and it's, like, forbidden, or whatever. I just, like, I don't care.
Oh, yeah, that.
Like, I want to find out the murders. I don't really care about the side stories. And I'm like,
well, the problem is it would be better if it wasn't terrible. That's what you're not realizing. Is the show is bad.
Yeah.
The show is really, really
it's all,
bad.
Like, Tumblr-esque style too.
It's really bad. It was on MTV when it came out.
Well, like the whole
that
teacher...
and fucking Teen Wolf.
Well, the whole teacher-student thing. Also, don't diss on Teen Wolf.
I knew it.
Will fucking go crazy.
I knew you were a Teen Wolf fan.
I love Teen Wolf. I used to watch it all the time. I don't watch it anymore just because, like, I grew out of it. I just don't
Man,
watch
fuck
it
Teen
anymore.
Wolf.
But I loved that show when I was younger. I watched it, like, I think I watched the whole thing. I don't remember if I watched the whole thing, but I watched a lot of it. It was so good. But my thing is, the teacher-student thing. Oh, yeah, the teacher-the-student thing. That, like, it was not, like, how... This sounds really weird, but, like,
Also,
usually how those tropes go... What?
so I know the teacher-student thing that you're talking about. All of the other actors in the show, you look young enough, but there's this one, and I was thinking, oh, maybe this girl just looks older because it's just how she looks. Some people look older than they are. No, that girl is by far the oldest girl in the cast. She's in her mid-30s in the middle when that show was made. She is older than the teacher character who's supposed to be sleeping with an underage student.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing I was trying to say and whatnot about the whole thing, like, okay, so the teacher and the student thing, that reminds me of, like, the whole Tumblr-esque, daddy core type of, like...
Daddy core?
Yeah, basically. It's, like, where these young girls, they, like, romanticize about their male teachers and stuff. And I'm not victim blaming at all, but it's just a trope that I see. It's very much like that, because when that stuff happens in real life, it's not this hot, attractive teacher, usually. But, I mean, sometimes that happens. But it's usually this creepy old guy who's taking advantage of girls. But for some reason in the show, is like portrayed as like this Tumblr-esque, like, she's blackmailing him into sleeping with her, and like, she was all like, she looked like she walked out of Tumblr. Like, for some reason, this whole show was like inspired by that.
It was an MTV drama. They weren't great at the beginning.
Yeah, but for some reason that gets to me. But like, that's just how the whole show is, though. Like, it looks like every single cast looks like they have a blog about something problematic on Tumblr, and I'm like, ew. I don't know why. I'm like, for some reason that gets me. And it's those side stories that were so annoying that made me stop watching it. The only thing I did like that was kind of a side story was, like, because this is kind of a spoiler, but not really, but the mom of, I think, the main character, one of the main characters, the chick, the girl, whatever, where she's like, oh, the killer guy who, like, brought, like, a heart or something on her front door, and she's like, oh, he's back, and she calls the cops or whatever. She stages this whole thing when she was younger. No, it was like a flashback to when she was younger, and she staged this whole thing to catch this killer who was killing other high school killers, or other high school students. And yeah, because it was like at the dock thing.
There was a prior killer.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, and it's like, oh, he's back or something, even though he got killed by the police.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I like that, but
yeah, it
didn't
gets
go
worse.
Anywhere.
Oh no, it does.
Oh,
it does. It's the main point of the show, and it's stupid. Oh man, that's.
I was like, that's cool.
We're gonna have to sit down and watch that show at some point in time. I don't know what it's on, what streaming service it's on, but I don't think you remember just how bad it is.
I remember the acting being bad. It's like everything's so
poorly.
edgy.
It's poorly written.
For some reason.
It's poorly written. You can't act yourself out of that.
Yeah.
But
also, side note, also...
Oh, let me guess, grilled cheese would be fun.
Yeah, I found out that I can make grilled cheese in the oven.
Of course you can. It's a fucking oven.
Well, what were you saying earlier about,
because you don't know how to use the oven.
You don't make the thing. I'll figure it out.
You're scared of it. You're scared of this oven.
Oh my god.
You're afraid it's gonna get you. And it might.
No, I can make grilled cheese in the oven. Do you want to do that here in a little bit?
No, I don't want to make no grilled cheese. I'm good.
Do you want to help me make that?
No.
Ugh.
You're gonna try and fail on your own. You're gonna learn.
Oh, okay. Then can I use the oven,
No.
I guess, to do this?
No, you get to use a lighter. And that's it. You get to hold it.
Yeah.
Melt the cheese strip by strip.
Yeah. No, I'm using the sliced cheese.
If that bread's good, that's another thing you gotta look at, see if that bread is good.
Yeah.
It's the only bread we got, Scarlett.
Yeah.
It's been sitting there a while.
Okay, sorry. You know what's a really good show that has really bad writing? It's so edgy. American Horror Story.
American Horror Story sucks.
Okay,
The first season was good, and that was it.
The only season that I like is 1984 because it's like 80s themes, it's slasher themes.
You didn't like the first season? That was the
Murder
season.
Is that the first one?
Murder House. God, they must have renamed it. No, the one that's just American Horror Story. It's season 1. They didn't have names when the first show. I watched that every week on FX.
I didn't like any of the
One
other
with the
seasons.
hot maid that was also like an ugly old woman at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's the hotel one.
No, they're not in a hotel.
I thought it was.
The first
with the
season,
detective.
they just buy a house.
Oh. Murder House, that's Murder House. I think, yeah.
And there's like a school shooter thing.
Yeah, that's Murder House. Because he's like a ghost or whatever. So
The ghost
edgy.
of a school shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes off real hard when it.
Yeah.
Some shit happens in that
the-
show.
The only other season that I really liked...
Aren't we like aliens now or something?
Yeah. The only other season I really liked was, Freak Show. Because that was, like, such a diverse, like, cast. You know, with, actors and actresses with disabilities and stuff. A lot of those were faked, though. Like, I don't know if this is offensive to say, but it's basically what they're called. Pinhead twins. Those were all prosthetics. I think those are the only ones with prosthetics, though. I can't remember.
They have to do some prosthetics because
Besides the circus owner
you
lady,
could be hurting people.
like, she didn't actually obviously lose her legs or anything, but that season was really interesting to me for some reason because, like, all the characters, like, you know, are showing disabilities and stuff, and, like, whatnot, and also the killer that was running around, and then, like, everybody was dying left and right. It was crazy. I liked it. I was like, Also, it kind of showed, like, some of the problems that, like, disabled people face, you know, because it, like, in that season...
It takes heavy inspiration from a movie. From an old movie.
Oh, yeah?
Which is known as one of the most disturbing movies to watch. Only because of its cast. I think it's called Freak Show. Something like that. It's an old black and white movie. But it uses, its cast is actual carnies.
Oh.
And it's about them rising up and getting revenge.
Oh.
And there's some... And the reason it's known as disturbing is some of these people have actual deformities and stuff like that are hard to look at.
Yeah.
And, but no, back then they didn't give a shit. They were like, here, go. And they were like, they did some crazy shit. But, they also put a lot of people at risk. But yeah, I have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like the 1984, though. This new season, okay, so not this new season, but the last season, I could not get through it at all. It was so boring to me, and I feel bad for it being boring, because it's like the gays in the 80s or whatever, or like, not in the 80s, it was like...
The gays?
Yeah, it was like when,
they were... In the 80s?
No, it wasn't the 80s, it was when they were fighting for the rights and stuff,
Now?
No, like, it was...
What?
You know what I mean.
What time period? 70s, 60s, 50s?
Yeah, around there. It's, like, around that time period. It's not the 80s, so it's way before then. But it's, like, when they're, like, you know, trying to
Some other people were fighting for their rights, too, around that time. Wasn't just the gays.
well, they're trying to fight for the rights and stuff, and it's about this serial killer that's going around killing gay men, and it's about this guy. He's a gay guy, obviously, and he's a veteran, and he's targeted by this serial killer, but the serial killer sees that he's a veteran by this like tattoo or whatever, and so he lets him go, and so he's trying to track down this killer because
I thought it was like the serial killer gets fucked up because the dude's like,
oh, no.
I was in World War II, motherfucker.
No, he does get some fucked up stuff going on. Like, this killer guy.
Because I would love that. Him preying on what he thinks is weak prey, because it's usually what serial killers go after. And then just kidding. Absolutely wrecked.
No, it's like, he does get fucked up a little bit, but I am confused about that because in the scene, spoilers alert.
Oh my god.
But, he, like, goes to this gay club or whatever. It's like a underground type of thing. Yeah, basically, where a bunch of guys that go to hook up with each other, and it's literally, like, dingy and gross and everything. You know, that type of thing. And he goes there, and he finds what he thinks is the killer. And instead of fighting him, well, he kind of does fight him, but, like, he pulls a knife on him or whatever, and then they fuck.
Nice.
And then, like, he gets... And then
the ultimate revenge.
And then we see, like, these other characters that are kidnapped by the serial killer, and then we find out what the serial killer is doing with these gays. He's cutting them up, and he's sewing them up into one body. Like, he's taking parts...
Ultra gay.
Well, he's taking parts out of them and sewing them onto this body, and he's creating this parade float that he's going to put on this parade that's going to happen. Because this takes place in, like, New York or whatever.
Weird.
And then there's a side story with this guy who's, like, this photographer guy. Like, he specializes in erotic stuff, but he's gay, right? And then he's, like...
Yes.
But the thing is, he's, like, this abusive asshole, obviously, who, like, sexually abuses these guys and stuff. And, like, it's a whole side story. And we don't know if he's, like, the killer... Because I left off, like, I stopped watching it because I was like, this is so boring and I can't keep track of what's going on. So, this guy, the side guy or whatever, he's like, he has this dungeon in his house. Or, like,
nice.
He lives in a New York apartment, so he's just, like...
Oh, yeah, the New York dungeon, yeah.
He's got this secret, basement thing or whatever in the building, and he, like... ties up this twink that's like
nice.
I can't remember who this character is for the life of me, but like he ties him up, he's like in this dungeon or whatever, and he like drugs him and he's like sexually attacking him, which is really this actor, in almost all the seasons that he's in, he's like a sexual predator, like that's his thing. And it's so creepy.
That's my thing.
Yeah, like, he's a creep, and it's like, he plays a really good creepy guy, like, every single time he shows up, I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's not a good thing to get typecast as.
Well, I mean, that's his thing, and I'm like, every time he shows up, I'm scared, because I'm like, fuck, no, because, like, I don't know why, he's just so scary and creepy looking, and, like, you wouldn't think it, though, if you just start watching the show. And then you didn't know anything. But and it's, but we don't know if he's, like, this serial killer or not, because he, like, lets this twink go after he's done, attacking him. Like, he leaves the cage that he's in open. Like, he leaves him in an actual cage. And he, like, leaves it unlocked so the kid or guy, because this kid is, like, 18, 19... whatever. So he, like, runs out, and he goes to the police, and the police are like, okay, well, we can't do anything because you're gay. Because they show up to his house, and the guy's like, yeah, I'll show you my sex dungeon, There's no shame in me participating in sex stuff, it's all consensual or whatever. And so the police are like, alright, that checks out, I guess. And then, but then completely ignore everything else that these red flags about this guy. And I'm like, fuck. And then this newest season, God, this newest season is... I didn't even bother trying to watch it because I've heard so many things about it. I've watched a few clips from it, and I hate it. It's about these, like, aliens or something, and they're keeping these human surrogate women to, like, create, like, a baby or something.
Well, I mean, if they're surrogate women, that's usually how that works,
Yeah,
Scarlett.
I don't know if it's, like, something about the Antichrist, because that's a thing.
Nice!
Well, that's a thing in the American Horror Story
Never would have expected
seasons.
it from the aliens.
Well, that's a thing that constantly comes up in the seasons. Like, in... There's a season where it's about witches or whatever. It's about the Antichrist or whatever. Or no, it's about the witches where the guy witch, he shows up and he's like the Antichrist or whatever. Very very edgy, you know. And then Apocalypse, apparently he is like the Antichrist or something like that. Something about that. And I was like very confused about that. I was like, okay, whatever. So I think that's what it's supposed to be about, but I'm not really sure. I've grown out of the American Horror Story type of stuff, you know.
I haven't watched it past season 1, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, well, that's what it's about. And I'm just like, sometimes the writing is so shitty, but I really like... Well, I really like 1984 a lot.
This all sounds well thought out.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was trying to get to before you got sidetracked with the terrible show...
Oh, okay.
Was... So besides having them have to go through it, we got 20 years worth of shit to make up for.
Yeah.
Because Scarlett, you know, didn't get the best home life, so they missed out on a bunch of stuff. You know, it's hard to keep up with the times when you're being abused. Anyway, so, I mean, is it a lie?
I mean, I guess so.
Anyway, so I'm having to teach them about movies, shows. So I don't know what Friends is. Why would I even want to watch Friends? Oh my god, can we watch Friends? Can we watch Friends? Let's watch Friends again.
I knew what Friends was before I met you.
Yeah, but I know how...
I just didn't watch it.
Yeah, but now you love Friends.
Yeah, because I thought it was like...
Now you love Friends.
I thought it was like cheesy or whatever. And it is.
It's
But I like
show.
it. I really do like it.
But I'm now also having to teach them about video game history.
Oh, yeah, because I don't really play video
Which is
games.
taking longer. It would be easy for you to play video games. It's not like they're not here. You could just pick up a controller and...
I don't have good motor skills.
Scarlett, that's why you just do it. You just do it. No one's watching. Just do it.
You're watching.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how I can teach you.
I don't have good motor skills.
Oh, shut up. I bet if I put Stardew Valley on, you'd figure out the motor skills real fast.
Yeah.
My ex-wife said the same thing. And then 125 hours of Stardew Valley later.
Although I can play good Sims. Like, I really like...
Sims is hard!
No, it's not.
Anyway.
How's Sims hard?
No, Sims has more controls and shit than the average game. There's a lot to learn about Sims. Anyway.
Sims is so good.
So I'm like trying to introduce them, played a little bit of Doom, played a little bit of Quake. You know, we were also playing games up on the channel, which has stopped because I don't have that ability anymore.
Yeah.
At least not until the tent gets set up. And so we're just playing through shit, and I was like, fuck it. Red Dead Redemption's available on the Switch now. And that's a great game to have on the go, just to do shit in. But also, it has a great story. One of the best Western stories ever written. And I know Scarlett likes certain Western stuff, and definitely like True Detective. And I'm like, well, let's play Red Dead Redemption. And I don't know how they're going to like this first one, but I know they're going to like the second one. The second one's story is so fucking good. But we got a while till we get there. Because they've never even played a Grand Theft Auto. And we're going to have to correct that.
I have played that.
You've never beaten a Grand Theft Auto. Let's change that.
I was about to say, I've played a little bit. I like to drive around.
So, we're playing Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
We've just gotten to Mexico. For those that have played it. That's about it. How are you liking Red Dead Redemption?
It's pretty good. is a lot of
Cowboy.
it's a lot of horse riding time.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of horse riding time.
Yeah.
We didn't exactly have cars back then.
Yeah.
Well, we did. It's 1911. We absolutely had cars, but not everybody had cars.
Yeah.
They were expensive. Hard to get hold of.
Yeah, it's just there's
Besides
that,
Bonnie, what's your favorite thing?
that's pretty much it. Just Bonnie.
Because yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, your singing has gone crazy.
I know. We got 5 minutes left. So, you're not interested in the story yet? I mean, it's pretty compelling.
I guess so.
Ah.
Like this grave robber guy, Seth.
Oh, I hate Seth. I hate Seth so much. He's a weird asshole.
Yeah.
Irish is an asshole. Actually, everybody we've met so far is pretty much a dick, except for Bonnie,
Yeah.
the marshal,
The
and
elixir
Bonnie's
dad. I don't like him. He's annoying.
Well, he's a charlatan.
Yeah.
See, that's why this game's great. It's characters.
Mm.
You're going to come to love John.
John
Marston. The main guy.
Oh, yeah.
Us.
I was like, what? Oh, yeah. He's pretty funny so far.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about where I figured you'd land on it now, because even though we've played a lot of it, it's so long that not a whole lot's happened. We've gotten to Mexico, so we chased Billy Williams into Mexico. Now we just got to do the rest of it. And other than that, then we got more True Detective to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to do another True Detective episode. I think we might just finish season 2 and do it, because it's so different. God, is it different.
It's confusing.
It's also confusing.
Yeah, the second season is very confusing.
Anyway, my phone's like, hey, you're running out of time, so we'll just end it here.
Yeah.
First episode of 2024. Woo! Anything else?
No.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
You still gonna look at grilled cheese?
Yeah.
Okay.